Hi guys. Welcome. How are you? The Architect of Silence. Episode 15. The Corporate Shadow. The Unexpected Rival. Elias's life finally achieved a measure of peace. The Azure Spire remediation was on track, and the Olympus Tower foundation was successfully laid. Ascendant Group was soaring, fueled by Eleanor Vance's capital and Elias's untainted reputation. Then a new construction firm emerged, Cerberus Holdings. They were aggressive, well-funded, and immediately began outbidding Ascendant on every major city contract, often at razor-thin margins that made no financial sense. Cerberus is a ghost, Elias. They have no traceable history, no known principle, but they have unlimited cash. They're using Arthur Thorne's tactics, but perfected. They are trying to starve Ascendant of future revenue. Elias. It's Arthur. He can't attack us legally or physically, so he's trying to outspend us. He's using the untraceable funds he mentioned. We need to find the source of Cerberus's funding, the black hole of Arthur's last trust, the international link. Leo's digital forensics team launched a deep trace on Cerberus Holdings, following the money trail through a labyrinth of international shell companies. The trail led back to an obscure Swiss holding company, a company protected by ironclad banking laws. Though, the money is clean, Elias. It's legally protected. We can't crack the Swiss bank without an international warrant, and the feds won't move without direct proof of Arthur's involvement. Elias realized the true genius of Arthur's final threat. A faceless, purely financial enemy, designed to bleed Ascendant dry through fair competition. Elias needed a legal attack. He needed a way to prove that Cerberus Holdings was not an independent entity, but a continuation of the criminal Thorne enterprise, making it subject to the ongoing RICO investigation. The design trap. Elias designed a brilliant high-stakes trap. He approached a major city client for a new municipal project, a public library, and presented Ascendant's preliminary design. The design, presented only on paper, contained a highly unique, non-standard structural component, a hidden signature only Elias and his closest team members would recognize. Elias allowed the city officials to accidentally lose the preliminary design files. Elias to Chloe, we wait. Cerberus will bribe the city officials, get the plans, and use them to submit their own lower bid. When they do, they won't just steal the plans. They'll steal the structural signature of the Thorne enterprise. 3 weeks later, Cerberus Holdings submitted a bid that was 15% lower than Ascendant's. The structural schematics attached to their bid were nearly identical to Elias's. They had taken the bait. The final exoneration cliffhanger. Elias called the city's legal team and presented them with 2 sets of schematics: the stolen Ascendant plans and the final schematics for the original seized Azure Spire. Elias, to the city council, look closely at the non-standard structural component used in the Cerberus bid. It is not an original design. It is a modification of a flaw found in the original Azure Spire plans, a flaw that Marcus Thorne's engineers always used as a shortcut. Elias proved that Cerberus Holdings was using the exact, unique, non-standard, flawed design signature of the defunct Thorne Group. This proved, unequivocally, that Cerberus Holdings was being run by the same leadership and using the same proprietary fraudulent methods as the Thorne enterprise. The city council, facing a potential public safety disaster, immediately voided Cerberus's bid and informed the federal RICO investigators. On the phone, triumphant, Elias. The feds are moving on Cerberus. They have enough to argue that it's a Thorne RICO continuation. They're seizing the assets now. Arthur's final ghost company is dead. Sage. Elias hangs up the phone, looking at Chloe, a profound weariness settling over him. The revenge is complete. The future is clear. But as they hold each other, he sees a lone figure watching the construction site from a nearby, unassuming building. A woman with a professional, sharp demeanor, holding a camera. It's Brenda Kincaid, Arthur's former lawyer. She didn't just walk away, she's still watching. The war may be over, but the surveillance never stops. The unblinking eye. The watcher. The destruction of Cerberus Holdings marked the absolute end of the Thorne dynasty's financial and corporate influence. Elias and Chloe were finally freed to build their honest empire. However, the constant presence of Brenda Kincaid, Arthur's former executioner, was a chilling reminder that the hatred was personal and enduring. Elias had Leo run a comprehensive background check on Kincaid. The results were startling. She hadn't joined another firm. She had started her own one-person consulting agency, specializing in reputation damage and surveillance. She was no longer a threat to Ascendant's money. She was a threat to Elias's peace. Elias to Chloe, she's not looking to sue us, Chloe. She's looking to break me. She's hoping I'll make a public mistake. A moment of anger, a contract flaw. Something she can use to smear my name and please Arthur. Oi. We don't react, Elias. We ignore her. We build our honest tower. And our silence becomes her frustration. The confrontation on the site. The temptation to confront Kincaid became too great. Elias and Chloe found her on a public sidewalk near the Olympus Tower site, openly taking photographs. Elias walked up to her, his posture straight, his eyes cold. Elias. The war is over, Ms. Kincaid. Cerberus is dead. Arthur Thorne is bankrupt and will spend the rest of his life in prison. Why are you still here? Brenda Kincaid, cool, unblinking. I'm a consultant, Mr. Thorne. I'm documenting the structural progress of the Olympus Tower for an anonymous client. Every major construction project is public record. Elias. Your client is Arthur Thorne. You are here to harass us. Brenda Kincaid. I'm here to watch the phoenix rise, Mr. Thorne. But a phoenix always carries the ashes of its past. My job is to ensure that those ashes never truly settle. You destroyed my client's life. I'm simply ensuring you never get to enjoy yours without a constant reminder that you are a man who built his success on the destruction of another. Her words were chilling. She was the human embodiment of the unblinking eye. The final personal toll of his revenge. The architect's final answer. Elias realized that Kincaid's power was only in his reaction. He had to show her that her presence was irrelevant. Elias smiled, a genuine calm expression of profound inner peace. He put his arm around Chloe. Elias. You're right, Ms. Kincaid. I did build my success on the destruction of another. But the life I destroyed was the lie that Arthur Thorne had built. And the life I'm building now, the honest tower, the honest company, the honest partner, is something no amount of money or surveillance can ever touch. You can watch me, Ms. Kincaid, but you'll only ever see success. He and Chloe turned their backs on her and walked onto the construction site, the sound of the rising steel a triumphant symphony. The recommitment cliffhanger. The Olympus Tower continued its ascent, a monument to integrity and perseverance. The past was neutralized, but the future held an uneasy peace. Elias and Chloe stood in their completed quiet office in the Ascendant Group headquarters. Oi. What do we do about Kincaid? Do we file a restraining order? Elias. No. She's irrelevant. We focus on the next step. The world needs honest architects. We will build the most successful, clean, ethical firm the city has ever seen. That is the only way to truly win. Fitch. Elias and Chloe hold hands, looking out the massive window at the city they are reshaping. The phone rings. It's a new, untraceable number. Not Arthur's, but Marcus's. The voice is muffled, cold, and utterly menacing. "I'm coming home, brother. And I'm bringing friends." Elias realizes that the escape from prison was not the final act. It was the beginning of a true, violent retribution plot.